At 12:35, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now be moving on to roll call. Our president.
Here.
Vice President Fees is here. Treasurer Self.
Here.
Secretary Emanuele.
Here.
Our Chief Justice.
Here.
Our college counsel is excused for today. Senator Walke. Senator Guntert. Senator Yella. Senator Totino. Pro Temp Schnorr. Senator Walters. Senator Miles. Senator Fisher. Senator Blackwood is excused today. Our advisor is excused. CFB is still upstairs. Wildcat Media. Webb.
Here.
Wildcat Esports. Our SAC rep is absent. ResLife is absent. We will now be moving on to the approval of minutes and agenda. Do we have any discussion? Our president.
I'd like to motion on a resolution, I don't have the number, 2224-09 to the beginning of new business.
Do I have a so moved? So moved by Senator Fisher. Do I have any second? Seconded by Senator Totino. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Wildcat Media.
Oh.
To us?
Yes,
right, cool.
think everybody is on this, but yeah.
Do we have any further discussion on the motion to add this to new business, beginning of new business? Seeing none, all those in favor? All those who oppose? And all those who abstain? That passes 8-0-0. Do we have any further discussion on the approval of minutes and agenda? Did you want a motion swearing?
Yes. Can I raise my hand?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Can I move, I'd like to entertain a motion to move swear-ins to before reports.
Do I have a so moved by Senator Fisher? Do we have a second? Seconded by Senator Walters. Do we have any discussion on the motion? Seeing no discussion, all those in favor of the motion? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those who oppose? Do you oppose? And all those who abstain? That passes 7-1-0. Do we have any further discussion for the approval of minutes and agenda today? Seeing none, all those who approve the minutes and agenda? Raise your hands higher so I can see them. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain? The minutes and agenda pass 8-0-0 today. We will now move on to announcements. We do have one announcement today. Hello, everyone. I am sad to say that election committee, based on some reports, has made the very difficult decision to remove a candidate from the executive elections for the 2024 running. This candidate will be allowed to run in the fall elections, and they are still open to other positions within the org. They just will not be allowed to run for this current election. That concludes our announcements today. We will now move on to guest speakers. We have no guest speakers. We will now move on to swear-ins. All those who are being sworn in, please come to the middle of the horseshoe. Hi. You guys ready? Awesome. Perfect. All right, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name, will faithfully uphold the student government at Utica Constitution.
Will faithfully oppose the student government. Wait.
Okay, we'll break it up. Will faithfully uphold the student government at Utica Constitution.
The student government of Utica Constitution.
And carry out the duties of. State organization and position.
Chief of Staff.
To the best of my ability. And will represent the students of SUNY Poly.
And will represent the students of SUNY
in a fair and unbiased manner.
Seeing as swear-ins have been concluded, we will now move on to executive reports. Our president.
Hi, everyone. I hope you all are having a really great day.
No.
I apologize if I sound sick or if I'm out of it. I promise it's not contagious. So, other than that, I hope you all take a good look at the resolutions that are motioned on and on the table for today. Other than that, just been very busy keeping up with the projects such as the Welcome Center, the Late Night Lounge, the Esports Arena, and all of those fun things. So, other than that, I have a very short report for today. I yield.
Alrighty, we will now move on to the vice president report. Hello, everybody. All executive election forms are due today, along with your announcements. I'm going to take forms until technically 11:59 tonight. Announcements must be done during this Senate meeting if you haven't announced already. I also will be opening up org head positions as of today after the Senate meeting. If you are interested in an org head position, please reach out to me and I will send you the application form. Additionally, I want everybody to be on the lookout for the executive debate that will happen next Tuesday in the Late Night Lounge. I believe it's from 12 to 1. That will be where you can go and ask candidates questions. This is especially important since the student body will be voting on everything. So just be cognizant of that. We encourage people to come and watch and ask questions and know your candidates. That is all I have to report for today. We will now move on to the treasurer.
Greetings, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well this week. When requesting extra funding from SGU, you will need to make a resolution and fundraise at least 10% of the money you are requesting. Along with this, you can only request the same amount of money as you can request from CFB for extra funding, as long as you have requested the maximum you can get from CFB. So, for example, a Wildcat can request $5,000 from CFB and request another $5,000 from SGU, but must fundraise at least $500. If you ever have questions pertaining to what the resolution is to fill it out for the extra funding, email me at sgutreasurer@sunypoly.edu. It's better to face madness with a plan than to sit still and let it take you in pieces.
Alrighty, we will now move on to our secretary. We do have a chief of staff, however, they are at work, and I don't believe they submitted a report to either of us. So not today, no report for today. Our chief justice.
No report.
Our college counsel is excused for today, and so is our advisor. We will now move into committee reports, student success.
Last week's meeting went well, and we talked about some changes the students may like to see in the campus's syllabus template. We will be meeting on the 27th at 12 noon in the SGU conference room. Thank you.
We will now move on to budget committee.
Give me a sec. Greetings again. The Budget Committee had another meeting this past week and had gone over Webb's budget and discussed a few more questions involving the CFB policies. Orgs, continue to work on your budgets and email me when you are ready to present them to the committee. You have till the 4th week of March to get your budgets in to be reviewed by the committee. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time. Have a great rest of the week.
We will now move on to class gift.
To discuss, since the gift is being made right now, we're not going to have a meeting again until April 12th to discuss possibilities for next year's class gift ideas. I yield.
We will now move on to student center advisory committee.
We have many great ideas for the different decorations and seating for the second floor of the student center, and we will be purchasing them soon.
We will now move on to wellness and inclusion.
Also, the second week of February, so not next week, but the week after, is Eating Disorder Week. We'll be assisting the Wellness Center outside in the lobby for tabling Tuesday, Thursday, I believe, 12 to 2, just handing out information of myths versus facts and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in learning more, you can feel free to stop by. But other than that, I yield.
We will now move on to food committee. We will now move on to safety and facilities. Alrighty, we will now move on to policy. Hello, everyone. Policy had a very productive meeting where we talked mostly about what we want to do with the org bill that I have created. Basically, this bill would define what each org does, as well as how to become an org, what an org does. Just basically goes further in depth as compared to our current policies and procedures. Hopefully, that'll be on the table soon once policy is cool with it. That concludes my report. We'll now move on to org reports. Webb.
Hi, everyone. Yesterday, we had a really great time at Bresty's Brunch. We gave about $200 in cash prizes out. We also had Title IX tabling as well as safe sex kits available. But on the other hand, if you are all done with the lovey-dovey pink hearts and all of that, tonight is anti-Valentine's Day, and the theme is Till Death Do Us Party. So come and get your breakup songs on with a lot of Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor Swift. Make some bears, and you can also dress them. I did buy lots of clothing for you to dress the bears tonight as well. We're also, esports is coming to do Mario Kart tournaments, so very excited about that. We're also going to be raffling off some gift cards for Texas Roadhouse, Olive Garden, and Applebee's so that you can take yourself out to dinner. This weekend is also free movie night at Rome Cinema with Madam Web, so you can go and see Madam Web this week as well. Next week is Nostalgia Night. I'm very excited about this. So I've gotten a lot of questions because some students don't understand what the event is. Think of all of your favorite childhood theme songs, and if anyone remembers, like we have Elephant, the game with the butterflies, silly bands, tech decks, all of those things. So come and hang out with us for your chance to win your very own pillow pet. Other than that, next Thursday is a magician that we're bringing in. This one's a little bit different than the magicians we've brought in the past, as this magician does close-up magic. So not only is he doing an hour stage show, but if you stay for the rest of it, we are also doing close-up magic. So if you've ever wanted to be involved in a magic trick, I did at NACA. This is where we found this specific magician, and he pulled a rat out of like a pan. I don't know how he did it. It was really cool. It was also, the pan was also on fire, so I don't know how that worked. Really cool. Highly recommend. Other than that, I yield.
Thank you. We will now be moving on to CFB, who is not, oh, there he is. Go ahead.
No report.
Alrighty, we will now be moving on to Wildcat Media.
Hello, everyone. We had our first Factory Times meeting with the new executives. There's a lot of faces there, and looks like we'll have a great group, and I'm excited to see what the year holds. I yield.
We will now move on to our esports.
We're just finalizing our arena. Hopefully, it's up next week. We're just waiting on some packages to come in. Once that arena is open, we will have a form that you must answer and consent to all of our rules before using the computers. Just wanting to remind everyone that every single weekday from 8 to 10, we do play games. So if you are going to be using the arena around that time, please make sure that there is not a game scheduled. All games will be on Cork next week, just so you can double check. I yield.
Alrighty, seeing as that concludes our org reports, we'll move on to old business. We have no old business. That concludes old business. We will now move into new business. We will go into the motion bill for the Day of Giving, Senate Resolution 2324-0809, R pro temp.
Motion to accept Senate Resolution 2324-09.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Gunter. You may proceed.
We, the Senate of SUNY Poly Student Government at Utica, do hereby resolve the purpose of this resolution is to donate $5,000 to the 2024 Day of Giving, whereas the SUNY Poly Alumni Foundation has asked for a donation, and Day of Giving is an online fundraising event for the SUNY Poly alumni, faculty, staff, students, parents, and friends to come together to show their support and create change on campus by donating to projects that are important to them, and previous SGU administrations have donated. Therefore, be it enacted, a total of $5,000 will be taken out of line 999 special projects.
Do we,
Resolved, be it resolved, $5,000 will be donated to the SUNY Poly Foundation to support the 2024 Day of Giving.
thank you. Do we have any discussion on this resolution? Our president.
Mike, would you like to come up and explain a little bit about Day of Giving, what it is, where the money would go, and all of those things?
Sure, happy to. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all again. I feel like I come once a month now, so this is great. A little bit about our Day of Giving. It is a 24-hour challenge giving day that we bring upon our alumni, donors, parents of current students, supporters, everybody to come together and support SUNY Poly. What that Day of Giving involves is different areas of support for our campus community and you, the students. Mainly, the donations, yes, are online, but obviously there are other ways to give back during the Day of Giving. The Day of Giving is March 28th, so we are coming up very soon. The sponsorship has always been appreciated from the SUNY Poly Foundation with SGU on the day. Our goal for this year, last year we fundraised nearly $185,000, and this year we're looking to beat that. So with the support of SGU, gets us closer to beating that goal. And I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has.
Do we have any questions? Senator Fisher.
Would they be donating to?
So there are different areas of support with the sponsorship. It's where it's needed, where the need is greatest. So depending on the situation of students and such, would depend on that.
Do we have any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion on this resolution, because it was motioned in today, we cannot vote on this. Voting would occur, do we have discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. Voting will occur next meeting, that is next Thursday, the 22nd. Thank you to our guest speaker. Seeing as that has been concluded, we will now move on to Resolution 2324-08, CFB, Club Freezing Resolution. Senator Totino.
Motion to accept Resolution 2324-08.
Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Walke. You may proceed.
All right. We, the Senate of the SUNY Poly Student Government at Utica, do hereby resolve the purpose of this resolution is to freeze clubs that violated CFB policies and procedures, whereas each club that activates must abide by CFB policies and procedures, therefore be it enacted, the following clubs will be frozen. Wildcat Wrestling Club, Computer Science Club, and Tactical Games and Events Club, therefore be it resolved, clubs listed above will be frozen. Be it finally resolved, Wildcat Wrestling Club, Computer Science Club, and Tactical Games and Events Club will be unfrozen after completing an event or community service event. Attachments Article 5, Section 5, Subsection 6. If a club misses 2 or more CFB meetings, the club will be frozen and will have the option of either doing an event or community service to be unfrozen.
Do we have any discussion on the resolution? Wildcat Media.
Policy violations were for each of these clubs. I yield to B.
So basically, the violations is kind of explained in the resolution. So we've had, I think, 4 or 5 meetings now. These clubs, I believe, have missed pretty much every single meeting, which is not good because these CFB club meetings are the reason why we stay connected to each other and the reason why they get the resources that they get. So for example, we're talking about policies, we're talking about ways that they can get funding, we're talking about different events that are going on campus. When they don't attend these events, then that severely discourages or severely damages CFB and the clubs and our relationship together. So that is why CFB is freezing these clubs.
Do we have any further discussion on this, Senator Fisher?
Question would be that when they complete an event, or what was the other thing, they could complete community service event, they'd be unfrozen immediately, or would that have to be going through the Senate to get unfrozen? I'd just like to know how that works.
CFB.
So it would be unfrozen immediately. Once they show me that, okay, we've done an event or community service event, then I will unfreeze them immediately.
Do we have any further discussion on this? Yeah, our audience member. You can come right on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the president of Wildcat Wrestling Club. And, the reason why I haven't been showing up to the CBU meetings is because of time conflict. And I have to go to, I have a study hall meeting because I'm an EOP, so I usually, between that time period, I'm not able to show up. So I was wondering, what else can I do after unfreezing the club to be able to show up more and not get frozen again?
Our CFP chair.
So, pretty much as I said, you can do a community service event, or you can do a regular event. It doesn't have to be just you that shows up. It can just be any representative. That means anybody for your club in the future. So let's say you get unfrozen, something happens, you get frozen again. Like I said, all you gotta do is an event. It's pretty simple. You guys have to do it anyways. That answers your question.
Also, most of my board members are also at EOP, so they would usually have to do the same night.
Okay.
I'm sorry for not showing up.
Thank you.
Senator Gunter.
So, I'm new to CPU, once I say this, is there a way we could have like a separate secondary meeting for clubs that may miss them and have time conflicts?
So we don't usually have those kind of meetings, and to have those meetings takes up a lot of time between classes, so I guess my answer is no.
I would like to yield the chairship to President Wadsworth. President Wadsworth, do you accept the chairship?
I do. I am going to call on our audience member first.
Hi, yeah, I'm a CFB too, and I will say that I'm a little confused why we have to go to every single meeting, just because, besides the policy thing that just came up, we talk about the same thing every single time. And, in terms of like that, I'm the treasurer of the Psych and Social Club, and I have to sit there the entire time doing work on my phone, and it looks like I'm not paying attention because of the time conflict. So I guess I wish we could change it, if there's any way we could change the policy, maybe once a month or something, because we're going over the same information every single time. So,
Vice President?
Hi,
I'm going to talk as the vice president, not as the chair. So that's what you're talking about. That's a simple policy change. We can always go over that in policies and procedures. As someone who used to run the meetings, it's pretty redundant. So I get where you're coming from. I'd have to talk to the advisor about that too, get it through him. But I don't see why we couldn't take a look at changing that system. As for a secondary meeting, we will not be planning a secondary meeting. The reason that we have it at that time is because generally speaking, there aren't classes. To answer your question, our audience member, how we cannot get frozen in the future. So it doesn't have, so like a club rep for those meetings doesn't have to be an executive board member. So it can be literally anybody that's on Engage can come to those meetings and you're still represented at those meetings. So if you have somebody that doesn't have a time conflict during that time, I would recommend sending them to those meetings. So it doesn't have to be like the president or the secretary. It can be just literally anybody in that club. I hope I answered your question.
I was also wondering, is it possible, like she said, to have it once a month, and if you guys were not able to do that, is it possible to just move it to Friday? Because I know most people have Friday.
So, I mean, we could take a look at moving it to Friday. However, historically, it's guaranteed that nobody has classes that time. Like Friday, we do have a couple straggling classes. Like I know sometimes electives will be on those Fridays, so it's not fair to like those students. This guarantees that everybody's free pretty much. Well, class-wise, I understand that we have other club meetings who want to meet there, or if you, like you said, you were an EOP student, so you are required to be at certain meetings for that time period, and I totally get that. When it comes to reducing the amount that we have, that would have to be a separate conversation with the CFB advisor, CFB as a team, and possibly just like our policy committee. Probably not policy committee, but I'm a policy person, so I pass everything through like a group of people. So I hope that kind of answers your question. Does that answer your question? Awesome. You're welcome.
Senator Walke.
So usually, since it's like Thursdays, not many people have classes, nobody has classes between 12 and 2. And usually it's Tuesday, Thursday classes that occur for students. Couldn't it like be Tuesdays from 12 to 2?
So that would be a decision made by the CFB chair and their team. That is a separate conversation. I mean, like, anything is possible. We can move the meeting, but historically, it's been that, like, 12 to 12:30 time period. So, yeah.
In the case it was moved, we would have conflicts for CFP being weekly anyway. And I have a motion to call the question.
We have a motion to call the question.
Do
we
you-
have a second?
No, second to, yes, second to call the question. No discussion.
Pro Tem Shore. There is no discussion to call the question. So for those that aren't aware, a call to question means that we will vote on this right now. This is a new business.
Yes, so it's a resolution, so you're allowed to vote on it.
Oh, it is a resolution.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I'm a little confused. Not very good at
Would you like
this.
me to take the chairship?
No, I got this. So
Okay.
we have a call to question. We have a second. We're going to move on to voting for the call to question. So the call to question, for those that aren't aware, means that we'll vote on this right now and end discussion. So we're going to vote to end discussion. Okay. All who approve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All who oppose? And all who abstain? That passes 7-0-1. We will now move on to voting for the resolution. Okay? So now we're voting on the resolution. Okay. All who approve of the resolution? All who oppose? And all who abstain? This resolution passes 6-0-2. I'm going to yield the chair back to Vice President Feast now.
I accept the chairship. Seeing as new business has concluded, we will now move into open forum. Do we have any discussion for open forum today? Senator Wall.
Hello. Oh, that's loud. My name is Amina Walters, and I'd like to announce my candidacy for Vice President.
Thank you. Does it need paperwork? Okay. Alrighty. Our Senator Fisher.
Talking about. I can't remember the name in particular. I just wanted to know when that was. It was,
Which one? Is it Nostalgia Night? Is it the one with the tech decks and silly
The
bits?
Magician.
The Magician. The Magician is next Thursday.
Okay.
If you give me 30 seconds, I can pull up the time even. February 22nd at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So it's a week from today.
Do we have any further discussion for open forum? Wildcat Media?
Stay funky fresh.
I did not say it today. Do we have any further discussion? Senator Gunter. I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Seconded by Senator Fisher. Do we have any discussion on adjournment? Is that, okay, you're just itching, sorry. Seeing no discussion on adjournment, all those in favor of adjournment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those who oppose? And all those who abstain. Adjournment passes 8-0-0. We are adjourned at 1:04.